If you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed that I was in California these last 2 weeks. I attended a trade show with my best friend Ashanti. Her and her boyfriend have a clothing line called The Gold Effect. I'll be sure to leave the link to their Instagram as well as their website down below. They have a lot of nice stuff, so be sure to check them out. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to go with you guys. It opened up my eyes so much as far as what I could potentially do in the fashion industry, and I just want you guys to continue doing what you're doing.
Hi, I'm Ashanti.
What's going on? This is Tony.
And give a little background. So where are you guys from?
I'm from Virginia and I studied at Virginia Tech. This is where I met my boyfriend Tony and we created the Gold Effect there.
Yeah. I'm from Duncan, South Carolina. Shout out to all the upstate, Greenville, Spartanburg. Like you said, graduated from Virginia Tech in 2016, and that's where we met.
What is Gold Effect and how was it created?
I'll take that one. So Gold Effect is streetwear elevated by raw soulfulness. I don't know if you see my hoodie, it says soulful. Brand new sample unreleased. But anyway, it was created to inspire myself, but also all the young people around us with fly, dope flavor that also represented us as people, both culturally and just the things that we're into. So that's really what the motive behind it was.
What made you guys do clothing?
It's an interesting question. I actually grew up and never wanted to do clothing. To me, clothing was like almost like mixtapes are. Like everybody and their mama got a clothing line. Everybody and their mama got a mixtape. So it's like you're just another clothing brand. Like what makes you different? But I think the reason or the thing that really pulled us into it, outside the fact that we always like to look good, we like to dress, was clothing. When you look good, you feel good, and it has an impact, and it connects with people on a cultural, on a psychological, on a lot of different levels. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like music. When you're wearing something, you become a part of the story. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really what pulled us into it. It just made sense with our own creativity and stuff like that. But if you want to add something to it, feel free.
Well, while at Tech, I knew that I wanted to do something with the business side of the fashion. But he had started the Gold Effect, and I was dating him. So I was like, I could actually help you with this because this is what I wanted to do. And then I became a co-owner. So
I needed that help too.
Yeah.
Boy.
Shout out to Black Love. Okay. How long have you guys been in business?
So we started this as a little dorm room hustle out of my apartment in college. But I'll say we went legit with it. What was that?
July 2016.
Yeah, so right after we graduated, got all our paperwork, got a trademark, all of that stuff finished. So we've been doing it officially coming up on 2 years.
So college, yes or no? Do you feel like it was beneficial to have a degree, or do you feel like you could have done this without it?
That's interesting. Second part of the question. I'll let you take it first though.
College, yes, for the experience, but not necessarily for the actual degree. I feel like if you could use your resources like YouTube, Google, the library, and things like that, you can get a degree for your education without the actual paper degree. So,
no doubt. I would have to agree. I would say college, yes. For the degree, it depends. For us, no, because I studied industrial design. Essentially, it's architecture for products. So there's some parallel with fashion, but I would say that we really had to get out here and give ourselves our own crash course, trial by fire, when it came to starting this brand. And I would say it's beneficial because all of the stuff that we know, we learn from experience. So it's like real, put your face to the grind type of information that we had to put together. But I would also agree with her on the fact that you can really, if you know what you're doing, or if you know somebody who's familiar with the industry, they can go down on YouTube or Google and create you a curriculum that'll be equivalent. I would say the thing that separates going to college versus an online or something like that is those connections, those people that you actually end up building relationships with. So I would say that is going to make it beneficial, because without that, I wouldn't have met her. You know what I'm saying? Probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So Yeah, it's a catch-22. It depends on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do computer science and you don't do people, you can go to the internet and be Gucci.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do industrial design, holler at me. I can get you the TJAC curriculum. You know what I'm saying? You can write up, make your check payable to Tony Jackson, but that's something different. But yeah, that's how I feel about
Speaking of experiences, what are some of the ups and downs you guys have faced as a brand?
it.
Well, I would say, I mean, just knowing where to start and being afraid to start because you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. It might fail. But you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, knowing that even though you don't know if it's going to work, just keep trying and keep going at it. So I think that's been one of the ups and downs.
Yeah, I'll say it's a lot of barriers to entry. Like there's certain lingo, certain techniques, certain ways to approach certain things. I would say that the only thing I disagree with her with is on the fear. I don't know if I was ever afraid to do something, but it's almost a mixture of being overwhelmed and just being lost. Because you don't know what to do first. It's like, do I get this thing protected, get the LLC, the trademark, do this route? Do I just get out here, start selling, make this money? We cover that on the back end. Do I need to be working with the local mom and pop shops to get my stuff screen printed and embroidered? Should I be trying to go across the water to do all that? It's just a lot of different pieces. So I would say the most essential part to building would be figuring out who you are first. As a brand, what you want to communicate, what style and technique you want to employ, and then you can put all the groundwork behind that. But I would say outside of that, I mean, fashion is a capital intensive business, so you got to stack your paper up before, during, and throughout the process because you're always going to need some paper to get to where you want to go. But outside of that, yeah, just putting those connections, those pieces together have been the most difficult thing, like building a network from scratch, especially when you didn't study this in school. Like you really scrapping together every YouTube video, every connection, every event. You're just trying to fuse it together into a blueprint that you can put into play.
Where do you guys see Gold Effect in the next year?
I'll take that one first because I see it everywhere. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? One thing that's never going to die is soulfulness. It's in every culture across the world. And I think that we've been building this and we've been articulating and perfecting our language and our craft. So I only see it going up and outward. So it's magnetic. It's coming to a street near you. Watch out.
I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's going to be in stores near you. So stay tuned.
Yeah, my goal is for it to be on you within the next year. That's where we at.
All right, so I just wanted to thank you guys so much for letting me do this interview.
No problem.
Time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's two open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate ones. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the soul.